Czech joke. He said, I don't want to live in a country where they address people in advertisement do. You know, like until maybe 10 years ago in Germany, you wouldn't see one advertisement, you know, you buy it, you know, kaufen Sie, you know, yeah, not, you know, kauf du, you know, hey, come here, Mund. This is the mood set by this vocabulary. In Sweden it's also Sie, you know. There's do, and I don't know the Swedish alternative to that, but Danish don't have it. What do I have?
We actually have also do.
Du og de.
Huh?
Ja, de. Du og de.
D. That's more like respectful. Yeah. Now it's all do. Hey, you're the king? Do. Hey, king, come over here. That's Shudra at his best. And this is all penetrating our devotional service all the time. And then people think, why is he acting so gross? Because you act so gross. You know, it's reflecting. It's very difficult to act respectfully to somebody who acts so disrespectfully. Now, a real Vaishnava king, but Prabhupada commanded that respect by his. Prabhupada never went down to that level. But he also didn't face this kind of thing. Because he was such a personality. That was not like, hey, do, who. Yes, it came actually by his disciples. Familiarity entered. And it created a severe crisis in this movement. Prabhupada wanted to leave back to India. He said, if you don't need me anymore, and everybody was like, hey, Jai Prabhupada, you know, then I will go. Just be very careful with this. But it's quite easy to respect a devotee when you see him, when you are knowledgeable about the mission, and you see somebody surrendering his life to the mission intensely, well, it's quite easy to respect him. That's actually the real respect. Not this, oh, great, and you, Vaishnava, what are you doing? That's the interesting part. But when you know about the mission, and you see somebody really surrendering his life to the mission, automatically there's a respect. Which can be expressed in a friendly way, it's okay. But, you know, the vulgarity in Kali Yuga is so obscene, it's unbelievable. And it undermines the whole system of parampara. Knowledge cannot be transmitted like this. You never find in Bhagavatam, a disciple asking the spiritual master, hey, you, come on, sit down. I want to know something. Sit down. Hey, yeah, it's nice what you are saying, but in my opinion, I think it could be also like this. What do you say? There will be no Bhagavatam. There will be no Krishna consciousness. It's all killed right away there. The process of exchange of knowledge.
I was just thinking about this, addressing people like you or thee. We say du or de in Danish. So I was just wondering, because we are brought up now to say du, nobody says
Yeah.
de.
So we are using it, that's okay.
Okay.
Of course. We are using that vocabulary, but like I said, if you see somebody surrendering to the mission of the spiritual master, then that's how this disciple gains his credibility. In the early times, even a brahmachari or a disciple, he was introduced. He is the disciple of Durvasa Muni. He is the disciple. It's like a visit card. Oh, he's disciple of such a great guru. Oh, yeah. Then automatically you have your respect too. Nobody dared to offend the disciple if you don't want to offend the guru. And then automatically commanded a certain etiquette. Automatically. Which makes life pleasant for transmission of knowledge. Etiquette in itself is just, like Victorian time in England was full of etiquette. Yes, sir. Tea time, sir. Yes, sir. Madame. Yes, madame. Madame. But actually, they all live like animals. Besides, behind this whole Victorian, facade of strict rules and this is to be done, not done, now what do people say? All under social pressure. Right? And then, but behind that, there just what was going on in these castles and in this, what the lords, did, most degraded. So this is not that kind of etiquette. It comes, I notice, it really comes automatically when everybody is intensely meditating about the mission of the spiritual life. The best expression of etiquette is that you are there for your godbrother in times of need. That's real etiquette. Not like, Haribol Prabhu, yeah, when Prabhu is dying and you go, Jaya Prabhu, and then he needs something, let's say he needs some medicine and you go, come on, we are not this body. It's like, great, that's great. That's a really concern when you see this powerful preaching. I mean, I could give an extreme example, but this is very extreme. You don't ever, this is typical Germany, Our glorious German Sankirtan leader. We had once upon a time in Germany, it was so polarized, there was Nishinga League and Govinda League among Sankirtan dudes. I was the leader of the Govinda League, that was the softies, people who are kind of, excuse me, and try to give people a book, And the Nishinga League was this, stop! They were conducting Sankirtan more in the mood of bank robbery, something like that. I mean, really heavy guys. People who served partially jail sentences before they joined, we had this kind of caliber of devotees, It's just like, so they were like, stop a car, hold the antenna, give a book. You want to drive away, well then, the antenna goes. Things like that. Unacceptable from today's point of view. But the enthusiasm was there to distribute. So, this kind of extreme things. Prabhupada was, of course, never informed, and he also said very often, you have to preach. It's like he said, you have to learn how to catch the fish and not to get wet. That's a science. That you don't plunge into the water, you start to hit the fish and then, and then the water is splashing everywhere, and at the end you are drowning practically, and then you get the little fish. This is like, sometimes our preaching is like this. Just smash it, and blah, blah, and then result. No, but it's ridiculous. So he was, very discreet. But this is just, that story is of course very brutal. I mean, now from today's point of view, it's hardly to imagine, but there was also very severe opposition. We got really hunted down, just the fact that we were Hare Krishna we were prosecuted on a full scale, police and anything, just the fact that you are Hare Krishna. So, I remember that parking lot, we parked the car and there was some bhakta, first week on Sankirtan, naive. He got out of the car as first with his books, and he approached just a man who came out of his car. It was in a parking lot, big parking lot. I remember that city, it was Kurlan, it was called. And big parking lot. So it was early in the morning. He got out of the car, enthusiastic. Hello, with a book. And it could happen in Germany if you meet the wrong guy. He will not only say no, he will just smack you in the face for that offense that you dare to try to stop him. The man was obviously a passion guy. He just came out of his car and they would hello, and he just knocked him out. He hit still our Sankirtan wagon. It was between two cars. Well, but that poor man didn't know that the next one who was getting ready out of the car was our Sankirtan leader. I remember even that car, it was called Ford Transit. It's pretty high exit, side door, push door. So our muscle Sankirtan leader hold himself on the frame of the car and came out of the car with the feet first, meeting the gentleman exactly in the face. Full blast. I was still sitting in the car getting my bag ready, and there was this plonk, one devotee flying on the car. And then behind me, the Sankirtan came out like from an airplane, with the feet first with his boots, right into the man's face. I could hear the sound of the steers clacking, and the man took a really heavy spin and ended up just flying between the two cars lying on the floor. I was going, oh no, what the beginning of the day, Oh no, so I had already my key, I was the driver, so I was thinking, okay, let's go. Actually, amazingly, the man just got up and left. And I was Sankirtan leader, he was a very determined German, Sankirtan Gita! He found it very inspirational to start the day like this. I mean, this is the kind of people we had, So he went out, left for the shopping, so I was going, oh no, what happens now? Nothing really happened. In the middle of the day I came back to the car and I was eating my little lunch. And suddenly I turned around and there was this same man standing next to the window of my car, next to I was going, oh hello! He was a little bit mushed up in the face. He didn't say anything, he just looked at me. And he said, what are you doing here? A completely different mood. And I was like, we are giving nice books to nice people. Woo! I was thinking, oh no, I was alone in the car, Everybody else is gone. And he said, books? What kind of books? And actually he bought a book. And he didn't even ask what it is. And then he looked at me and said, interesting how you guys are protecting each other. And he left. I was like, wow. So he was impressed that he hits a devotee. Few seconds later, another devotee comes. Instantly. It was so quick. It was completely unscheduled, the whole thing, of course. We were all in a mode of passion. Him and we too, It was like one mode of passion. It was not that transcendental. But the willingness immediately, even to lay down life for the other devotee was right there. And this is what I experienced many times those days. You felt absolutely protected. There was no way to let one devotee down, even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. No way. I'm not saying this is exemplary. Don't keep people in their teeth. But Prabhupada himself demonstrated similarly in the middle of the big Indian preaching program, where drunk Indians were crawling on a stage, harassing devotees who were dancing on a stage. To the shock of everybody, Prabhupada came down from the Yasasam and with the car just hit a few of these aggressors. In front of hundreds and thousands of people, Swami, Sadhu, the holy man in India, it's somebody who just goes, sits and Hari Om, peace, ecstasy, bliss. And there was Prabhupada. And then with few seconds, the old man, he was back on the Sasana. It was so quick that he would see him quickly. But when Prabhupada was here, and there was this guy's cars are quite dangerous, when you use them like this. Especially when they are the sharp type, with thin edges. It's like knife. And Prabhupada was back on the altar. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. It was so quick that nobody even noticed what happened. So Prabhupada was fiercely, also he says, all people, you have to defend them. That was the mood I grew up in. Not this, he's practicing Krishna consciousness in Himalaya, and he's sitting on a tree at home, in the garden, and he is doing this, and he's doing that, and he's dying over there, he was in Maya, and these kind of things didn't exist. It was rough. I was sick. Sometimes devotees were going, how are you, poor one? No. But once engaged in the mission, we were all on the same mission. And people joined because of that. They said, wow, I never knew this before. This is, it's like an army here, wow. They are really covering each other's backs, and, like this. I was still chaotic, of course it was chaotic. but the loyalty was there. You could go to any temple, temples being packed with devotees, going, Prabhupada ki jai, and there would be 300 devotees going, Prabhupada ki jai, and that was it. You were immediately a member. So very strong loyalty there. This is happening when such a acharya like Srila Prabhupada is on the planet. He can unite, such a foul people, completely different people, different mentalities and different natures. Like I said, the chaos was still there. But ultimately, when Prabhupada came, everything finished.
Prabhupada's mission is to spread Krishna consciousness or to preach to English-speaking people. For example, I questioned Sankarshan Prabhu to give me an instruction so I could follow. And then he told me to, I had to ask again because it was kind of blurry, but anyway he repeated it, and the instruction was that I should, when I chant japa, I should feel how Krishna is present, and if I can't do that, then I should just, as a duty, just absorb my mind in the sound of his holy name. So that's not exactly the same as Prabhupada's instruction, but maybe it is.
Prabhupada got the same questions.
Yeah?
What about if I chant Hare Krishna and don't consciously remember even Krishna? As a matter of fact, I think, what about the service? Prabhupada said, this is no different from Krishna, the service you have. But of course, it's clear when you think, okay, Hare Krishna, and there's this big dirty pot and I have to wash it, and Hare Rama, oh my God, yesterday they messed up the kitchen so much, Hare Krishna, And we chant like this. Oh, it's still 1,000 times better as you chant Hare Krishna, wow, the last trip was so horrible. Hare Rama, Rama. And that girlfriend of mine, the last one, she was really a bitch. Hare Krishna, chant your house like this. It's, there are qualities. But ultimately, it's all the stages of purification. We are chanting out of duty. Even the 16 rounds, it's not nowhere in the Shastra. Where is it stated that we should chant 16 rounds? That's half of 32. And 32 is half of 64. And that was the number Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj gave. He said, whoever doesn't chant 64 rounds, he's fallen. Prabhupada started at 64 and he saw the result. The hippies falling unconscious, nobody doing one thing. Nobody could manage. And he said, okay, 32. And then again, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, now we can't have a movement with this. And he took it down to 16. But they said that's the limit. So this is why it's coming, the only validity of 16 rounds because it's coming from Prabhupada. That's all. Once again demonstrating that when an instruction is there, the real principle is to follow the instruction. If Prabhupada would say 5, then it's 5. But he didn't. Otherwise he said, we can chant more. Why not? The limit. So, the minimum that was like this. So we should chant out of duty. You chant and try to listen. That's a hard job. Anyway. That's all. Therefore we have beats, counting beats. That's also, Prabhupada said the Goswamis also they kept numerical strength, that there was actually, they were fixed on numbers also. But ultimately, Paramahamsa and Avadhuta chants all the time. He doesn't need any numbers, he's counting it like this. He doesn't need any beats. Lord Chaitanya didn't have any beats. There's pictures of Lord Chaitanya dancing with the beats and this was concoction. He never had any beat back. Isn't it?
That was introduced by Rupa Goswami. The beats were introduced by Rupa Goswami.
Right. So all these pictures of Lord Chaitanya sitting there and chanting with beat, this is all Bengali dreams. Yeah. So even pujaris bring this, you know that? They have Gaunitai with beats like this, the japa. Concoction. Why? Bhajatma never had any. He just doesn't need any. He's God. So, but we need, touch. Hare Krishna, and then still we do Hare everything. I remember when I started to chant, I remember all this experience. I was thinking, it takes so long to chant one round. Yeah, because I didn't move the beats. I chanted, but I couldn't coordinate this with my head. And the next day I was thinking, oh, I'm really improving. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. 16 rounds, 16 minutes, Oh, I'm getting really good. And I'm just going like this, It took me really a while to get it coordinated. And we still do these mistakes.
Me too.
Yeah, and you go, or you go, Hare Rama, oh. But to speak what we are chanting, We used to make a joke, we used to go with small tape recorder and just hold it secretly, and you want to sit and chant. You would be amazed what's coming out of your mouth. You think you are chanting, but what's coming out here, wow! We had a little encounter, when we were driving in the car. There was no Hare Hare. It's a special new mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Yeah.
It became That was the Hare. Hare mutated to You would be shocked when you would go around in the morning jump and record the words what's coming out. It's hilarious. But we are trying. We are working on it.
When I was chanting this morning, I did something similar, or almost, because I was chanting, but I was kind of spaced out, so my...
Yeah, but it's not you know it, you at least, but the first thing is that most of us don't even know. You're totally convinced, I'm chanting my life. Really. Just imagine Krishna would take it very seriously. You are glorifying him. You are chanting his holy name. Now just imagine, you have a name too. And somebody would declare your name being holy and chanted your name. Hare Hare You say, what are you doing? Well, I'm chanting your name, I'm glorifying you. Hare It's like, it's actually kind of insulting, But Lord Chaitanya is so merciful, he goes, yeah, they're trying. They're glorifying me. So nice. Lord Chaitanya is a supreme optimist, He's always like, you can be so lucky, I'm going to tell you. When Hare Krishna gets installed, the fun is over. I saw it many times. When you have Hare Krishna coming in, it becomes very, serious. Prabhupada was almost regretting he had installed Krishna worship in his company. He said, for us, Gaunitai is perfect. Because Gaunitai is always optimistic. Somebody chanting, oh yeah, even half of the mantra. Okay, great. Then you realize Gaunitai, how merciful they are. Because we should not, as Prabhupada said, we should not take advantage, but it's definitely the most merciful incarnation. Those devotees, his personal associates, who got the glimpse of his unlimited mercy, broke down in ecstasy. And you couldn't just accommodate how somebody can be that merciful. God, the supreme personality of God, tolerates our chanting. Yeah.
I was just wondering because you said Rupa Goswami introduced...
Yeah.
So I was just wondering because there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita where Krishna, he says, of sacrifice I am japa, or something like that.
It can be all kinds of japa.
Doesn't have to be with
Chanting of many mantras is also, so it means reciting.
It's soft.
Soft.
For one's own hearing.
And loud means kirtan.
Okay.
So the soft reciting japa. Okay. Shila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Jai.